Hey, what is up, people? Vaughn here, and welcome to day 4 of my 90-day IAM challenge. And in this video, we're going to dive into multi-factor authentication. Now, MFA is essential in today's technical landscape because it adds an extra layer of security and requires more than just a password. That being said, I thought it would be a good idea to touch on it and refresh myself on MFA within the Okta environment. So I'm going to show you how I implement MFA in an Okta test environment. Let's go. All right, so now we're in my Okta dev environment, and what we're going to do is this. We're going to set up the authentication enrollment policy and the global session policy to enforce MFA on a respective group. Along with that, we're going to create a new user to test out the MFA policy on and create a new group to attach the MFA policy to. So starting out, we're going to go and create the new user, go to directory, people, add person. Now, just a little caveat, there isn't any application associated with this configuration. It's just basically setting up, configuring an MFA policy and enforcing it on a respective group. So the user won't be signing into any third-party applications. It'll be just logging into Okta. So now we're going to go to groups, add group, interns, MFA for all interns is the description. Okay, let's add Vaughn to the interns group. All right. Okay, so next we need to set up the authentication enrollment policy. Go to security, authenticators, enrollment. So we're also going to select which type of authentication method we want to take effect within this policy. So let's add the policy, give it a name, assign a group. All right, so these are the different authenticators. And if we want to have top security for our organization, we need to select the best authentication methods as it pertains to top level security. And with that, we're going to disable email. We're going to make Okta Verifier required, and we're going to keep password set to required. And we're going to disable security question. Create policy. Now we're going to create a rule, and we're going to leave everything set as is. Okay, as you can see, this intern policy is active and it takes priority right now as it is set to policy number 1 above the default policy. So that's good. And as you can see, when we look at the intern policy details, it says that all users assigned to the interns group will be prompted for MFA using Okta Verify and a password. So that being said, we can move forward to the global session policy. And what we're going to do is add a policy and we're going to name it MFA, no, we're going to name it interns policy and MFA for all interns. And then we're going to assign it to the intern group, create that rule. And we're not going to do anything up until this point. So you want to scroll down to establish the user session with a password. And then you want to make MFA required. So you're going to select MFA is required. And then we want to keep the selection at every sign in. So user will be prompted for MFA at every sign in, set to that default, and then we'll create that rule. And as you can see, this policy, the intern policy, takes priority as it is set to policy number 1 and it is active, which now the intern policy is assigned to the interns, and that rule that we just set saying that, hey, at every login, any user that's a part of the intern group will be prompted for MFA and the session will start. The global session will start with a password. So that being said, we can go and test out this configuration now. So we're going to log out of my dev account and we're going to log in with our test user, which is Vaughn. and then we'll see what happens. All right, so Vaughn is being prompted to set up the Okta Verify app, which is an authentication app. And if you recall, during the authentication enrollment process, we required Okta Verify as an authentication method. So this is great. So we're going to set this up, and we're just going to follow these instructions here, and I'll do that on my iPhone. So we're going to skip the security question, but if you want to, you can always set this up. It'll ask you for your preference as it pertains to which security question you want to choose. You'll enter your secret answer, and then you'll proceed with logging into your portal. So continue. All right, so now that we're in Vaughn's dashboard, let's log out and log in again to see how MFA will look since it's been set up. Okay, so sign out, sign back into Vaughn's account, and we're gonna get the code from the Okta Verify app, which is an indication that MFA is being enforced. And then there we are. So MFA works, and it has been applied to Vaughn, which is a user of the intern group. I really hope that you've gained some value from this video. If you have any questions, need clarity, please drop me a comment. And as always, be blessed.